My husband, William Payne, was a jointer with the London Electricity Board. He enjoyed the work, but unfortunately his health was suffering as a result of going in and out of holes in the ground to deal with problems there. So when somebody suggested to him that he might go and work at the London School of Economics in Houghton Street, he thought about it for a little while and then decided it was a jolly good idea, as he was quite interested in politics. Arrived there, he soon became one of the chosen, and before long he was a member of Southwark Council, and although he had only been a member for 10 years, he eventually became mayor. That was in 1980. Mayor making day is usually about the 5th of May, and that is when he got elected to the council and for that term of office, and became named as mayor, as a successor to Councillor Peter Cather. When my husband became, the mayor and was actually doing the job, he found it immensely interesting, because suddenly you realised all sorts of things were happening in the borough about which you knew absolutely nothing. For instance, the chief executive had a PA who was always trying to get in work for the people of Southwark. Projects were about which she then got the people to bring into the borough, so that we had more of these jobs, and so that the prestige of the borough rose, and we weren't looked on as just people bothering about ourselves, but people who actually were looking to the wider scene, becoming part of the whole of Greater London and working to the common good. This was something which I thoroughly approved of, and so I didn't mind helping my husband with various projects which came to the foreground then. And I found that my children, they were, well, to put it mildly, they were becoming bored rigid, because they kept on having to open the door to somebody who wanted help, when they all had jobs which absorbed them all the time, and which were really the sort of jobs where they needed to put their entire minds to their own affairs. However, they eventually moved out, found homes of their own, and my husband and I and one of our daughters were left alone there. There we began to do things which almost made our home into an office, and we were not long in finding out that when my husband, as mayor, got invited to things, that it was a very good idea to actually listen to what other people were saying before you said too much yourself. In this way, you got quite a lot of useful information, and we felt that no longer were we people just thinking in a terribly parochial way about our little corner of London, of South London. We were actually beginning to see ourselves as partners with Lambeth, Greenwich, Wandsworth, and this was a wonderful feeling, really, because before that we had just felt very isolated. You fought your corner, but you got nowhere quite often. But when you joined in with other boroughs, you saw the wider picture and did things together with these other people that really made London a reality, a whole place. In the past, London had meant just the city of London. Then it went out a bit into slightly a slightly larger area, and then suddenly all the villages round it, Camberwell, Lewisham, etc., they exploded. They had more people, more industries, and they all seemed to join together at the seams. No longer was it the City of London with country towns around it. It was a city that was expanding and becoming Greater London. I need to stop now for a bit.